Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge for the second weekend of November. And unfortunately, many of our regulars were not able to make it this week, so we got a small group with us. But of the small group, we still got a lot of talent. Myself, John, Maggie, and Danielle. So we probably be a little bit shorter than usual, but we still have some good actors that you'll get to see perform today. Monologues and scenes randomly chosen from Shakespeare, as we do every week. So the random order that we have that was determined in advance, we'll go Maggie, then John, then myself, then Danielle. And the thing we decided to start, I realized it was disrupting the stream too much, slowing things down, spinning for the names. We'll have the random order that people perform, that people choose in, will also have been predetermined. We'll just, the order that we chose, the order that people went in to do the monologues, we'll just go in the reverse order for how you get your choice of role in the scenes that we spin. So, but Maggie is the first one to go with her monologue today, and the monologue that she is going to do will be Upon the King, Henry, from
Henry 4. So it's Henry 5, Act 4, Scene 1. Henry 5, yes. Act 4, Scene 1. Henry 5, Act 4, Scene 1. And it's, I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I see one long one that starts with, so if a son that is by his father sent.
No, that's actually a good scene. With
is that after it?
Yeah, it's after. It's toward the end. Once everybody exits, but him, he's on. It's a soliloquy. He's by himself.
After the soldiers leave, upon the king. I see it. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think a Duke of, I'm forgetting the name, somebody else comes in and questions him, and he says a brief part, and then he goes to praying, which is another. You can skip that part and make it continuous. It's up to you.
We'll go on to where it says, "Oh God of battles, steal my soldiers' hearts."
Yeah. So
okay.
So it's kind of a continuation that was of what was just interrupted by the entrance of that character. So you can continue as if that character wasn't there and get a longer monologue out of it. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just move my text over a little bit. All right. Upon the king, let us our lives, our souls, our debts, our careful wives, our children, and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. Oh, hard condition, twin born with greatness, subject to the breath of every fool, whose sense no more can feel but his own wringing. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect that private men enjoy? And what have kings that privates have not too, save ceremony, save general ceremony? And what art thou, idle ceremony? What kind of God art thou that sufferest more of mortal grief than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents? What are thy comings in? Oh, ceremony, show me but thy worth. What is thy soul of adoration? Art thou aught else but place, degree, and form, creating awe and fear in other men? Wherein thou art less happy being feared than they in fearing? What drink'st thou oft instead of homage sweet, but poisoned flattery? Oh, be sick, great greatness, and bid thy ceremony give thee cure. Think'st thou the fiery fever will go out with titles blown from adulation? Will it give place to flexure and low bending? Canst thou, when thou command'st the beggar's knee, command the health of it? No, thou proud dream that playest so subtly with a king's repose. I am a king that find thee, and I know 'tis not the balm, the scepter and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the intertissued robe of gold and pearl, the farced title running for the king, the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high shore of this world. No, not all these. Thrice gorgeous ceremony, not all these, laid in bed majestical, can sleep so soundly as the wretched slave who with a body filled and vacant mind gets him to rest, crammed with distressful bread, never sees horrid night, the child of hell, but like a lackey from the rise to set, sweats in the eye of Phoebus, and all night sleeps in Elysium. Next day, after dawn, doth rise and help Hyperion to his horse, and follows so the ever-running year with profitable labor to his grave. And but for ceremony, such a wretch, winding up days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king. The slave, a member of the country's peace, enjoys it, but in gross brain little wots what watch the king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours the peasant best advantages. O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts, possess them not with fear. Take from them now the sense of reckoning, if the opposed numbers pluck their hearts from them. Not today, O Lord, oh, not today. Think not upon the fault my father made encompassing the crown. In Richard's body have interred anew, and on it have bestowed more contrite tears that from it issued forth drops of blood. 500 poor I have in yearly pay, who twice a day their withered hands hold up toward heaven to pardon blood. And I have built 2 chantries where the sad and solemn priests sing still for Richard's soul. More will I do, though all that I can do is nothing worth, since that my penitence comes after all, imploring pardon.
Okay, very nice. I saw while you were performing, Bill did join us, so we're glad you made it. I wasn't expecting you, so we were talking. Oh, and you're muted, Bill. And I had said John was next. I apologize, but that was before Bill joined us. Based on the random order that we determined, we have Bill goes next, and then John is on deck. So,
okay.
So we'll go ahead and start off with. So we'll do Bill. It's going to do. Friar Lawrence, the Gray-Eyed Morn. That's the top of the scene, Act 2, Scene 3.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay, great.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and fleck darkness with a drunken reels from fourth day's path and inspiring wheels. Now ere the sun advances, bring I the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must fill up this austere cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Earth, that's nature's mother, is her tomb. One is her burying grave, that is her womb. And from her womb, children of divers kinds we, sucking on her natural bosom, find. Many for many virtues excellent. None but for some, and yet all different. Oh, Mickle's the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For naught so vile that on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this, smelt, with that part cheers each part, being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant. Scene.
Okay, very nice. So John is up next, and then myself. John, beginning with your John. John is going to do. Claudia, so my offense is wrong.
Okay.
Act 3, Scene 3.
Act 3, Scene, which one? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Oh, my offenses rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force? To be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, my known ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In this corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen with the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in its true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! Oh, lime soul that struggling to be free art more engaged! Help, angels, make us say, bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Okay. That's a good one. It's now my turn, and then Danielle, and then we will go on to our scenes. So my monologue will be. King Richard from Richard II. I've been studying how I don't think anyone's done this one yet. So this will be interesting to do. Where he's lost the Bolingbroke already, and he's imprisoned supposedly for life. Doesn't know that the new present king's friends are coming to kill him. So Act 5, Scene 5. I have been studying how I may compare this prison where I live unto the world. And for because the world is populous, and here is not a creature but myself, I cannot do it. But I'll hammer it out. My brain I'll prove the female to my soul the father. And these two beget a generation of still breeding thoughts. And these same thoughts people this little world. Its humor is like the people of but no thought is contented. The better sort is thoughts of things divine, so intermixed with scruples, and do set the world itself against the word. And thus, come, little ones, and again, it is as hard to come as for a camel to thread the postern of a small needle's eye. Thoughts tending to ambition, they do plot unlikely wonders. How these vain, weak nails may tear a passage through the flinty ribs of this hard world, my ragged prison walls, and for they cannot die in their own pride. Thoughts tending to content flatter themselves that they are not the first of fortune's slaves, and shall not be the last, like silly beggars who, sitting in the stocks, refuge their shame, that many have the others must sit there. And in this thought they find a kind of case, bearing their own misfortunes in the back of such as have before endured the like. Thus play I the one person many people, and none contented. Sometimes am I king, and treasons make me wish myself a beggar. And so I am. Then crushing penury persuades me I was better when a king. Then am I kinged again. And by, think that I am unkinged by Bolingbroke. And straight am nothing, but whate'er I be, nor any that but man is, with nothing shall be pleased, till he be eased with being nothing. Music do I hear? Keep time. How sour sweet music is when time is broke and no proportion kept. So it is in the music of men's lives. And here have I the daintiness of ear to check time broke in a discorded string. For the concord of my state and time had not an ear to hear my true time broke. I wasted time, and now doth time waste me. For now hath time made me his numbering clock. My thoughts are minutes, and with sights they jar their watches on unto mine eyes the outward watch. With my finger, like a dial's point, is pointing still, and cleansing them from tears. Now, sir, the sound that tells what hour it is are clamorous groans which strike upon my heart, which is the bell. So sighs and tears and groans show minutes, times, and hours. My time runs posting on in Bolingbroke's proud joy, while I stand fooling here. His jack of the clock, this music mads me. Let it sound no more. But though it have helped madmen to their wits, in me it seems it will make wise men mad. Yet blessing on his heart, and it gives it me. It is a sign of love. And love to Richard is a strange brooch in this all-hating world. Okay. That was fun doing one that we haven't seen a lot of before. And we'll finish our monologue round with Danielle. And she is going to perform I just took this one out of retirement. I think I think I should skip it. I think the one time it came up before, it was you that did it. I, Edward, will use women honorably. Is that correct? I'll spin again if I'm correct.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah. I'd like, it's only been done once, and it was so I just took it out of retirement, but it was done by you. Well, I'd like to see it done again, but
but not necessarily by the same person.
Yeah. Lancelot from Merchant of Venice. Certainly my conscience will serve me to flee from the Jew. Merchant, I think that's the top of the scene, Act 2, Scene 2. Lancelot Gobbo.
Certainly my conscience. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see if I can find my way through this one.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Certainly, my conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Gobbo, Lancelot, Gobbo, good Lancelot, or good Gobbo, or good Lancelot, Gobbo, use your legs. Take the start, run away. My conscience says, no, take heed, honest Lancelot, take heed, honest Gobbo, or as aforesaid, honest Lancelot Gobbo, do not run, scorn running with thy heels. Well, the most courageous fiend bids me pack. Via, says the fiend. Away, says the fiend. For the heavens rouse up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. Well, my conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says very wisely to me, my honest friend Lancelot, being an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son, for indeed my father did something smack, something grow to, he had a kind of taste, well, my conscience says, Lancelot, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says my conscience. Conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a kind of devil. And to run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, whose saving irreverence is the devil himself. Certainly the Jew is the very devil incarnate, and in my conscience is but a kind of hard conscience to offer to counsel me to stay with the Jew. The fiend gives the more friendly counsel. I will run, fiend. My heels are at your command. I will run.
Nice. Okay, so let's take a look at what scenes we'll do to get roles for five players. Have Winter's Tale. Act 1, Scene 2, that's Leontes and Camillo. I believe that's where he's telling Camillo to kill Polixenes. I might be wrong. I might be remembering that. So we have Leontes and Camillo in Winter's Tale. And then we have King John, Hubert and King John, Act 4, Scene 2. I think this is the scene where he tells King John he killed Arthur, and King John's learning it, and then he makes him tell the truth that he didn't actually kill him. So King John and Arthur, and then for the fifth, so then we'll add the fifth role of the fifth person can just do a second monologue. So the 5 choices amongst roles are Leontes, Camillo, King John, Hubert, or choosing to spin again for another monologue by yourself. And so the order will go in, we go in reverse order from which we perform. So Danielle gets the first choice amongst those roles. Danielle, are you still with us?
Yes, could I have Leontes, please?
Okay, so Danielle took Leontes. I choose next. I'll choose King John for myself. John, what would you like? You can be Arthur, Camillo, or do a second monologue.
Can I choose a second monologue if I want?
Yeah, that's an option. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay, let me go ahead and choose that. And the reason I do that is because I am totally bereft about, these other ones.
Okay.
So if that was all right with everybody, yes.
Yeah, well, that's
do that.
And then Bill. So Bill, between Camillo and Winter's Tale or Arthur and King John. I'm sorry, not Arthur, or Hubert. I'm sorry, is what I said.
So did you say Camillo's still available?
Yes. Danielle took these.
All right, I'll take Camillo.
Camillo. Okay. So Bill is going to take Camillo. So that leaves Hubert for Maggie. So Maggie will be. So we're going to do Winter's Tale, Act 1, Scene 2. Leontes and Camillo will be Danielle and Bill. Then myself and Maggie with the King John scene, and then lastly, John will do another monologue. So let's see. Leontes and Camillo. Have you both found where to start in that scene?
Not yet.
Let me know when you're ready to go, and I'll take myself.
What's the first line we're looking for?
I gotta look myself. Winters.
Where am I?
I think it's toward the end, because it's the scene where Polixenes is getting insanely jealous, and then they exit. I think it's toward the end, and everybody else.
Exit Mamilius.
Yeah, I think when they exit, then he calls Camillo aside. Yeah, exit. You're right. It would be exit Mamilius, and then Camillo. This great sir will yet stay longer. Now Camillo. Now he's going to talk aside to his servant Camilo, ordering him to kill the friend that he's gotten insanely jealous of for no reason. Yeah, so it would. You're right, Danielle. It starts with exit Mamilius, and then Leontes is going to say, Camilo, this great sir will yet stay longer. And then there's the thing with Camilo and Leontes. You see that, Bill?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. So whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry, I'm just positioning text a bit. Okay. Camilla, this great sir will yet stay longer.
You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material.
Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding, Cecilia's, so forth. 'Tis far gone, when I shall gust it last. How came't, Camillo, that he did stay?
At thy good queen's entreaty.
At the queen's be it. Good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine? For thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks. Not noted is't, but of the finer natures, by some severals of headpiece extraordinary, lower messes perchance are to this business purblind, say?
Business, my lord. I think most understand Bohemia stays here longer. Stays here longer.
Aye, but why?
To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of your most gracious mistress.
Satisfy. The entreaties of your mistress satisfy. Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camilla, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well my chamber counsels, wherein, priest-like, thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed, thy penitent reformed, but we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so.
Be it forbid, my lord.
To bide upon't. Thou art not honest, or if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hoxes honestly behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent, or else a fool that seest a game played home, the rich stake drawn, and takest it all for jest.
My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In every one of these, no man is free. But that his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world, sometime puts forth. In your affairs, my lord, if ever I were willful negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence, not weighing well the end. If ever fearful to do a thing where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out against the non-performance, 'twas a fear which oft infects the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But, beseech your grace, be plainer with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I deny it, 'tis none of mine.
Have not you seen, Camillo? But that's passed out, you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn, or heard, for to a vision so apparent rumour cannot be mute, or thought, for cogitation resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery. If thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative, to have nor eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say my wife's a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts two before her troth plight. Say't and justify it.
I would not be a stander by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so, without my present vengeance taken. True, my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin as deep as that, though true.
Is whispering nothing, is leaning cheek to cheek, is meeting noses, kissing with inside lips, stopping the career of laughing with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot on foot, skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift, hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only, that would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why then, the world and all that's in't is nothing. The covering sky is nothing. Bohemia, nothing. My wife is nothing. No, nothing have these nothings if this be nothing.
Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it be, 'tis true.
No, no, my lord.
It is. You lie. I say, thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, he that wears her like a medal hanging about his neck, Bohemia, who, if I had servants true about me, that bear eyes to see alike mine honour as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they would do that, which should undo more doing, I, and thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who may see plainly as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, mightst bespice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial.
Sir, my lord, I could do this and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress, so sovereignty being honorable. I have loved thee.
Make that thy question and go rot. Dost think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation, sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps? Give scandal to the blood of the prince my son, who I do think is mine, and love as mine, without ripe moving to it. Would I do this? Could man so blench?
I must leave you, sir. I do, and will fetch off Bohemia Fort, provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues in courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Now dost advise me, even so as I mine own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honour, none.
My lord, go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feast, keep with Bohemia and with your queen. I am his cupbearer. If from me he have wholesome beverage, account me not your servant.
This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, thou splitst thine own.
I'll do it, my lord.
I will seem friendly, as thou hast advised me.
I really like that. That really brought out the tension, and they say both of you, and then the chemistry between the two of them, the master servant relationship. That was great. Anyway, so myself and Maggie are going to do the King John and Hubert scene. That's at the end of Act 4, Scene 2. I figure we take it from he's just found out about, well, he thinks he found that Hubert killed Arthur, and then he finds out his mother died too. Is even more grief. So my mother dead, re-enter Hubert. That's where I thought we'd start from. You same.
Great. Yeah, that's where I have it lined up as well.
Okay. So you're ready?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll
So
start.
All
I'll
right.
start with my mother dead.
My lord. Oh, go ahead. You go.
My mother dead.
My lord, they say 5 moons were seen tonight, 4 fixed, and the 5th did whirl about the other 4 in wondrous motion.
5 moons.
Old men and beldams in the street do prophesy upon it dangerously. Young Arthur's death is common in their mouths, and when they talk of him, they shake their heads and whisper one another in the ear. And he that speaks doth gripe the hearer's wrist, whilst he that hears makes fearful action, with wrinkled brows, with nods, with rolling eyes. I saw a smith stand with his hammer thus, the whilst his iron did on the anvil cool, with open mouth swallowing a tailor's news, who with his shears and measure in his hand, standing on slippers which his nimble haste had falsely thrust upon the contrary feet, told of many thousand warlike French that were embattled and ranked in Kent. Another leaned unwashed artificer cuts off his tail and talks of Arthur's death.
Why seekst thou to possess me with these fears? Why urgest thou so oft young Arthur's death? Thy hand hath murdered him. I had a mighty cause to wish him dead, but thou hadst none to kill him.
No had, my lord. Why did you not provoke me?
It is the curse of kings to be attended by slaves that take their humors for a warrant to break within the bloody house of life, and in the winking of authority to understand a law, to know the meaning of dangerous majesty, when perchance it frowns more upon humor than advised respect.
Here is your hand and seal for what I did.
Oh, when the last account twixt heaven and earth is to be made, and shall this hand and seal witness against us to damnation? How oft the sight of means to do ill deeds make deeds ill done? Hadst not thou been by, a fellow by the hand of nature marked, quoted and signed to do a deed of shame, this murder had not come into my mind. Taking note of thy abhorred respect, finding thee fit for bloody villainy, apt, liable to be employed in danger, I faintly broke with thee of Arthur's death, and thou, to be endeared to a king, make it no conscience to destroy a prince.
My lord.
Thou hast but shook thy head, or made a pause when I spoke darkly, when I purposed, or turned an eye of doubt upon my face. Bid me tell my tale in express words. Deep shame had struck me dumb, made me break off. And those thy fears might have wrought fears in me. But thou didst understand me by my signs, and didst in signs again parley with sin. Yet without stop didst let thy heart consent, and consequently thy rude hand to act the deed, which both our tongues held vile to name. Out of my sight! Never see me more. My nobles leave me, and my state is braved. But at my gates with ranks of foreign powers, nay, in the body of the fleshy hand, this kingdom, this confine of blood and breath, hastily in civil tumult reigns. Between my conscience and my cousin's death.
Arm you against your other enemies. I'll make a peace between your soul and you. Young Arthur is alive. This hand of mine is yet a maiden and an innocent hand, not painted with the crimson spots of blood. Within this bosom never entered yet the dreadful motion of a murderous thought. And you have slandered nature in my form, which, howsoever rudely exteriorly, is yet the cover of a fairer mind than to be the butcher of an innocent child.
Arthur live? Oh, haste thee to the peers. Throw this report on their insensate rage and make them tame their obedience. Forgive the comment that my passion made upon thy feature, for my rage was blind, and foul imaginary eyes of blood presented thee more hideous than thou art. Oh, answer not, but to my closet bring the angry lords with all expedient haste. I conjure thee, but slowly, run more fast. Scene. That was great. Okay, so we will finish with John doing one more monologue. And John is going to do... Kyla, that's another July. I believe it doesn't start with half another UI. It starts. I think it starts with. I think debate fish with all is what. That show you. Yeah, I think debate fish with all is how that starts.
And that's act. What is that act?
Act 3, Scene 1.
Okay. You know, I think I've done this before, but I can do it again.
Have you? Okay, if you've done it before, yeah, you know, you're right. The last time, this is another monologue. I just took it out of retirement to put it back on the wheel, and it goes to the person who performed it the last time. Okay, yeah, I'll spin again for you. I'll keep it on.
Okay. All right. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, perfect. This is the one that was given to Danielle, who had.
Okay.
So you can do this one. It said.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Where that's in King John.
Oh, no, that's in Henry VI, Part 3. It's Scene 2. This is when his brother King Edward is just been victorious in the Wars of the Roses, and he's getting a politically advantageous marriage, and now the scheming younger brother is reflecting on Edward's future based on that.
Oh, okay. I think I have it here.
It starts with Edward will use women. You found it?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
I, Edward, will use women honorably. Would he were wasted, marrow, bones, and all, that from its loins no hopeful branch may spring to cross me from the golden time I look for. And yet, between my soul's desire and me, the lustful Edward's title buried is Clarence, Henry, and his young son Edward, and all the unlooked-for issue of their bodies to take their rooms ere I can place myself. A cold premeditation for my purpose. Why then I do but dream on sovereignty, like one that stands upon a promontory and spies a far-off shore where he would tread, wishing his foot were equal with his eye, and chides the sea that sunders him from thence, saying, he'll lade it dry to have his way. So do I wish the crown, being so far off, and so I chide the means that keeps me from it. And so I say, I'll cut the causes off, flattering me with impossibilities. My eyes too quick, my heart o'erweens too much, unless my hand and strength could equal them. Well, say there is no kingdom then for Richard. What other pleasure can the world afford? I'll make my heaven in a lady's lap, and deck my body in gay ornaments and witch sweet ladies from my words and looks? Oh, miserable thought, and more unlikely than to accomplish 20 golden crowns. Why, love forswore me in my mother's womb, and for I should not deal in her soft laws, she did corrupt frail nature with some bribe, to shrink mine arm like a withered shrub, to make an envious mountain on my back, where sits deformity to mock my body, to shape my legs of an unequal size, to disproportion me in every part, like to a chaos, or an unlicked bare whelp that carries no impression like the dam. And am I then a man to be beloved? Oh, monstrous fault to harbor such a thought. Then, since this earth affords no joy to me, but to command, to check, to o'erbear such as are a better person than myself, I'll make my heaven to dream upon the crown, and whiles I live, to account this world but hell, until my misshaped trunk that bears this head be round impaled with a glorious crown. And yet I know not how to get the crown, for many lives stand between me and home, and I, like one lost in the thorny wood, that rends the thorns and is rent with the thorns, seeking a way and straying from the way, not knowing how to find the open air, but toiling desperately to find it out, torment myself to catch the English crown. And from that torment I will free myself, or hew my way out with a bloody axe. Why, I can smile and murder whiles I smile, and cry content to that which grieves my heart, and wet my cheeks with artificial tears, and fret my face to all occasions. I'll drown more sailors than the mermaid shall. I'll slay more gazers than the basilisk. I'll play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slyly than Ulysses could, and like a Sinon, take another Troy. I can add colors to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Machiavel to school. Can I do this and cannot get a crown? Hut, were it farther off, I'd pluck it down. Thank you.
Okay, very nice. So we had some great performances today. I hope everybody enjoyed them, and hope you will tune in again next time for Wheel of Shakespeare a week from today, and every Saturday, same time, same channel on YouTube. Take care. See you guys next week. Bye now.